Yes, do we have,
Motion calendar. Stuart Gloverman, Vicky Ramil versus Celeste Gonzalez.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kaneohe and our client, Vicky Ramil, Stuart Gloverman, are present here with us.
good morning. Where is Miss Gonzalez today? Okay, so Ms. Orke, Mr. Withy, you did receive a copy of her motion for recon, right? Her two motions?
Yes, we did.
Okay. I'm sorry?
We received it when it was filed, and
Oh.
we were notified by email.
Okay.
We did not receive.
Okay. So here's the problem, and let me think about what I'm gonna do since she's not here. She attaches a copy of the lease that I hadn't seen from you folks before.
Your Honor, did you see our responses we filed yesterday?
No, I did not.
The only difference is that it says certified on her copy.
But no, the problem was it didn't have, I don't think your copy had the, on your motion, did you guys have a copy of the HUD, the tenancy addendum in your motion?
No, but I don't see that it does anything for anybody.
I understand, Mr. Withy, and I understand how frustrated you guys are. Here's the problem. I granted a motion for summary judgment based on a lease that wasn't the correct lease.
Well, it's a lease between the parties. It definitely is. And the same thing.
It is not the lease between the parties, because the addendum has, there are lines on the signature page, on page 5 of the rental agreement, which Mr. Glauberman initialed, that made the addendum part of the lease.
That's not the lease we have, but yes.
I understand that. I'm sure you guys would have put the right lease on, or the lease that you had, but that is the lease that she's now presented that says was the right is the lease. And I do have Mr. Glauberman's signature and initials on it, and so it's part of the lease document.
I'm not sure where that came from. I think it's only from section 8.
Right, I agree, yeah. But it did become, but it did become part of the lease, and I granted summary judgment on the lease that, in fact, that wasn't the right document. So this is where I am today, and again, I appreciate the enormous frustration in this case, but the court is going to grant her motions for recon, and I'm going to set, and I don't know why she's not here today, that is sort of an issue, but the court will, and I know you guys are in a hurry, so the court's willing to set trial on it on the 24th, if that's what you want to do. Or you go ahead.
I heard the other day. I don't early on. Where did that come from, Mr. Glauberman? I guess they never even, well, you signed it. Yeah, they don't have a copy of it, but he did his initials, or those are the initials to it. I think there's purely a section 8 copy.
I understand. I do understand, and I know you guys would have attached it if you had a copy of it, but in fact, it appears to be the full lease, and that appears to be part of the lease. I did review it. I don't think there's anything that creates an issue, but nevertheless, I can't grant summary judgment based on the wrong lease.
Well,
so. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Doctrine of harmful error. Rule, harmful error here. Because it is the same lease, it just got an addendum to it.
Understood.
Right.
Understood. I understand.
They've got
Understand.
rules
But,
6 months.
I understand. Anyway, so,
Your Honor,
go ahead, Ms. Orke.
the lease nonetheless was terminated on February 28th.
I agree. I understand. I like I said at the hearing, the issues are the lease and the termination, and I agree. I understand that. But given that she came back with this different lease and the court granted summary judgment on the different lease, that's what I'm going to do. So do you want, go ahead.
The filing yesterday, the response to the summary judgment was about 2 weeks late. I think she admits that the lease was ended July of last year, and she admits that
No, I did not.
ended at February 28th. That's the beginning of her declaration.
I do understand that, and I understand, I did consider all of the admissions that have been made, and again, that's why the court was willing to grant summary judgment to begin with, because there are very few factual issues here. But she created number one issue, and that's on the lease document. So court's going to grant her 2 motions, just for everyone's, to be on the safe side for everyone. You can refile your motion, or we can have a trial. And at the trial, we're going to need Mr. Glauberman to testify and the copy of the lease, and that's what we need. So what?
You could reopen the evidence today, Your Honor. Under the rules.
Because the other issue I'm concerned about is the notice issue. I don't think she did have sufficient notice. I think that may have been my fault, in part because I set a hearing date and then asked you guys to file the motion for summary judgment, and I probably should have emphasized that she needed the appropriate days. So that's another reason I'm not going to grant it today, because of the time she needs, and that's why I'm going to set it. I would set it for next week, but for the time. So I'm going to set it either for the 24th, I'm going to set it for trial, or a motion for summary judgment. I think it's a safer thing to do it via trial, but it's up to you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we can
Yeah, but make sure that if you can refile the motion, and I'll hear it on the 24th, but make sure we've met the time requirements. But so the motions, both of her motions are granted. So, and I did receive Mr. Lau's new motion, and he's not here today. I was going to ask him when he wanted that set. I'll set that for the 24th as well. But it doesn't have the right lease attached either.
It's the only lease our clients have.
I understand. But she's presented a lease with Mr. Glauberman's signature on it, and so that's the lease. Okay, thank you guys very much. Have a good weekend.
So the trial will be September?
Yeah, go ahead and set. So both motions are granted. Go ahead and set trial for September 24th.
So the status is going to be a trial?
Yeah, set it for a trial.
And then exchange of the exhibits?
They have, we can set an order to exchange any further exhibits by September 17th. I think the parties have previously exchanged exhibits in this case, but.
Okay, so exchange exhibits by the 17th, Your Honor?
Yeah. Didn't you guys submit exhibits previously?
We did.
I think so. If you want to just give me a notice, I do have those exhibits, but if you want to submit new ones, that's fine too.
And what time is your motion on the 24th, Your Honor?
I'm sorry?
What time is the motion for trial?
So, is it 9:30?
Motions is 9:30, also trial is 9:30.
Yeah.
And there's 2 sets. There's 2 trials.
Yeah, there's 2 other trials set for that day, but that's okay. This one we'll put first.
Well, we can immediately file a summary judgment so that
As long as
summary judgment.
Yeah, as long as we've met the time, and I don't know if is it 10 days or 14 days?
So we have time.
Yeah.
We do it tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Okay, so we have the settlement conference, but we also have the trial matter. No, I want to call the trial matter first. Is it, so we have a trial and a settlement conference, correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's call the trial matter.
Calling trial case, Crystal Fernandez versus Michelle Marie Humphrey and Matthew John Nelson. Your Honor,
Yep.
Ms. Gonzalez is in the room. She's out in the room.
How come we didn't bring her in?
She said that the last judge prior,
Was she on Zoom?
no, oh, she's outside.
Let's go off record for a minute. No, she needed to be present.
Yeah.
Okay? Outside.
Okay.
I understand. It was not your fault. It was the court's fault. My apologies. Please don't have a seat. This is going to be very short. The court. Okay? Outside.
Okay.
I understand. It was not your fault. It was the court's fault. My apologies. Please don't have a seat. This is going to be very short. The court granted your motions today, okay? On the basis that they did not have the correct lease attached, okay? However, the court also set trial for September 24th, okay? So I'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
Okay,
All right? Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
Your Honor,
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you.
My apologies that I did not know you were there, but we'll see you in 2 weeks, okay?
And so that's the actual trial.
That's going to be an actual trial.
Okay,
So you guys had previously exchanged exhibits.
Yes.
You can,
updated.
those are fine, or you can update if
Okay.
you wish. And that's due on the September 17th, okay?
Yes, 1 week from today.
All right.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.